We are going to focus on landing on the feet from 3 different levels. According to GMB Fitness, jumping technique improves coordination, power, and strength throughout your body. Landings are an important skill to learn in order to maintain balance when executing skills and to prevent injury. Educagym describes the 2 crucial components to executing landings. They are absorbing force over as much time as possible and absorbing force over as much surface area as possible.
We will start with the basic techniques required to jump and land. First, we'll start with beginner jumping. In order to jump effectively, it is important to first place your feet shoulder width apart with your toes facing forward. Remember to keep your knees straight and right over your toes. Raise your arms straight in front of you with your palms facing the ground. Bend your knees like you are sitting in an imaginary chair. Now, bring both arms back, then quickly swing your arms forward. At the same time, push your body upward by extending your legs. This creates power. Beginner landing. When landing from a jump, it is important to have a toe ball heel sequence. Make sure you absorb the force first through your toes, then the ball of your foot, and finally onto the back of your heel. Contact the ground with both feet at the same time to absorb the force over a larger surface area. Your feet should be shoulder width apart. Be sure to bend your knees to absorb the force of your landing. Have your arms out straight in front of your body for balance. Now that you have the basics of jumping and landing, let's add an extra challenge.
Intermediate jumping. When jumping onto a height, place your feet shoulder width apart with your toes facing forward. Make sure you keep your knees over your toes and not past your toes. Extend your arms back with palms facing away from the body. Ensure that your chest is facing forward. Swing your arms up while you jump to create added momentum. This is important because the faster you bring your arms forward while activating strong hip extension, the more power you will have for your jump. Remember to know your own abilities. Start with a small height and gradually increase the height as you begin to feel confident. Intermediate landing. When landing from a height, be sure to remember the toe ball heel sequence. Land on the balls of your feet and continue through the ankle, knee, and hip joints. Bend your knees to absorb the momentum and transfer the force throughout the body. Have your arms straight in front of you with palms facing down. Ensure the center of gravity is slightly forward while maintaining a stable base of support. Avoid bringing your hips and knees all the way forward. Now that you have mastered the intermediate jumping and landing techniques, it is time for an even tougher challenge.
Advanced jumping. An increase in jump height will increase the difficulty of the vertical jump. This modification is dependent on the performer and may greatly vary among individuals. Ensure to use mats and appropriate equipment to prevent injuries. Running before performing the jumping movement will increase the amount of force transmitted to the body. However, at the moment the jump occurs, the performer must ensure the body is stable so that all the force may be effectively transmitted into the jumping motion. The feet must be planted on the ground prior to the propulsion phase. During the preparation phase, the ankles are dorsiflexed, the knees are flexed, the hips are flexed, and the shoulders are hyperextended. Increased flexion of the ankles, knees, and hips, and extension of the shoulders increases the amount of muscle fibers that are used to create the force propelling the body upwards. This also increases the range of motion of the body segments propelling the body, increasing the time and speed over which force will be generated. During the propulsion phase, the ankles plantar flex, the knees extend, the hips extend, and the shoulders flex. Increasing the speed of the body segments used when propelling the body will increase the force produced. During the flight phase, the body continues the mechanics of the propulsion phase by employing a follow-through, ensuring that the force produced in the propulsion phase is effectively used to propel the body upwards, preventing the dissipation of the force. Advanced landing. An advanced landing requires a stable landing position. The base of support should be provided by the feet contacting the ground approximately shoulder width apart, and the center of gravity should be slightly forward. A cushioned landing is also essential. This is achieved by applying the amount and direction of the downward force over time and distance. It is essential that the landing process is sequential, absorbing the force through the whole body. Initial contact is made with the toes, followed by dorsiflexion of the ankle, then the knee flexion, and finally hip flexion. As is occurs with the feet, the shoulders swing backwards into hyperextension. Thank you for watching!